This episode of Capes and Lunatic Sidekicks is brought to you by Tweaked Audio. To get awesome headphones, go to tweakedaudio.com and use the coupon code Southgate to get 30% off, free shipping, and a lifetime warranty. Or you can get there through the link on our website, southgatemediagroup.com.
I love Ben Reilly. Especially that one from Into the Spider-Verse, because he's dead.
Hello, and what an auspicious beginning for our new show, Ultimate Spider-Cast. That's right, episode 1. Had to figure out some kind of way to introduce the Spider-Man podcast, and what better than Lilith Hellfire's love of Ben Reilly. I am Phil, and of course, as I said, that's Lilith Hellfire.
Hey y'all, what's up? Contrary to popular belief, because of that drop, I do not love Ben Reilly.
I don't know.
That's Philip's obsession.
Objection,
As
Your
can
Honor.
be seen as his cosplay during our Into the Spider-Verse review.
Capes and Lunatics 83. Alright, well, we decided, I know we were talking about doing more Wade's World, which we'll probably get back to eventually, but we're going to be doing some Spider-Man, and at least for the foreseeable future.
I wonder why we're doing Spider-Man. I just can't put my finger on it. I feel like it might be a movie coming out. Somebody's being opportunistic.
We both love the character, so settle down before I send you far from home.
I love Europe.
Good Lord, I bet you do. Anyway, so with the movie coming in the summer, we decided, hey, we'll review one movie a month, which, of course, first month we'll be doing the first Tobey Maguire Spider-Man.
Cringe fest!
And so we figured, why not do for the next couple months, do a themed villain month to go along with every movie. So, of course, first Tobey Maguire movie, we're going to be doing Green Goblin appearances.
The comic book Green Goblin is so much better than any movie Green Goblin.
Yes. Oh, yeah.
Sorry, Willem.
And of course, I tried to keep him in, order of, well, as long as each character. And I also wanted something big for our first episode, so.
Wonder what issues we could be covering.
What big story? Green Goblin. What screams Green Goblin when you say big story?
Well, you would never know the title of the issue because it doesn't come to the last page, but I'll go ahead and spoil it. The Night Gwen Stacy Died.
I was going to say, to go take a leap of faith off a bridge.
But don't get the bridges confused. It's the Brooklyn Bridge.
When we act like the description's not on like every episode. Yeah, it's Amazing Spider-Man 121 and 122 from what was
Nobody
it?
reads that crap, Philip. Be serious.
From 19. It's right on.
It's for SEO purposes only. Come on, Philip.
Not for the kids.
Don't be naive. But yeah. So like this issue, these two issues, this issue specifically, 121, is not only like big for Spider-Man, but it's like literally big for like the whole comic book industry for two reasons. This is like the first time the damsel in distress actually died. And then this also, some people consider this to mark the differentiation between the Silver Age and the Bronze Age.
Mm.
Yes, I'm a little bit of a comic book historian. I don't get to show it so much because Charlie's usually around, but he's not here today, so I can do it.
No white mansplaining. All right.
No, don't be like that, Phil.
I know.
So before there was a woman in the fridge, Gail Simone, DC, Hal Jordan, there was the Gwen Stacy syndrome. Thank you, Jerry Conway.
That's what I was going to say. Is this OG fridging?
This is the original OG fridging.
Oh, Lord.
But it's worse because it's actually, spoiler alert, Peter's fault. Although we don't technically find out that until the Cliff Notes in 125.
Yeah, I think in subsequent reprints they put in that little snap.
Yeah, on the neck, yeah. And also, this is kind of funny because you notice when he goes to do that for anybody else, now he goes after them to match their momentum. So Pete actually does learn from this.
Oh yeah, they did that at least like 20 times during the Clone Saga alone. Just
yeah. So, and this is You know, I noticed, like, because I'm a kid of the 90s, they have redone this story, but it's usually with Mary Jane Watson. They even do it in one of the movies that we'll talk about, and it's Mary Jane instead. And I'm like, if only. Like, I don't know, because I feel like the reason why they got rid of Gwen Stacy is really lazy, and they, like, make no bones about it. They were like, we don't want him to reveal his identity. We don't want them to get married. There's nothing really left for this character to do, a la Laurel Land's season 4 on Arrow, # still bitter. Yes, that was literally their reasoning for it. And Stan Lee is just like rushing off to Europe. He's like, sure, yeah, kids, do whatever you want. Daddy's gone. He comes back, wait, what?
Well, I don't know if it's just an excuse then, but in this trade I have of the issues and a few others, there's a afterword in the back from John Romita where he basically...
no letters on it. I'm just saying.
He basically says, as they were writing it, you know, Gwen more and more didn't seem like she fit with Peter more. It was more like Mary Jane seemed. I don't know.
I mean, looking back, Gwen would have been a better partner at that particular time when this was published than Mary Jane. And even Peter kind of knows it because he kind of goes off on her in the next issue in 122. About, like, you know, her carefree lifestyle or whatever. And she's not like a student. She doesn't have like the smarts and stuff, like, you know, Peter is supposedly smart. So, you know, so it's like that whole thing. So I don't know where they were coming from. They were just tired of writing for the character and they wanted to get rid of her and they wanted to do something shocking, and that's what they did. In the story, in the discussion, like,
alrighty,
it's been a while. I think people can get over it. We got Spider-Gwen, you know, it's fine. You know, she would have fizzled out and been a long forgotten character had this not happened to her. I think she'd just been a footnote.
So that was what I was thinking last night. Is every iteration of Gwen we got after this superior to the original Gwen just because of the writing, or? Like, Spider-Gwen's much better than the original Gwen. And
I mean, I don't even think I have to fight anybody about it. I mean, you have to think about the time that she was created. I mean, literally every girl had that Lois Lane damsel in distress syndrome, except for maybe Sue. And even Sue had a lot of issues before she decided to go ahead and be Invisible Woman. Secretary. That's all that I have to say. So, yeah, Marvel had a real issue with their women characters. I will just go ahead and say. For as progressive as everybody wants to pretend like they were, lots of issues with their female characters.
I mean,
this is one of those glaring things.
And I mean, this story was kind of controversial too. Just, I mean, between like the death of Gwen Stacy and like
Harry's all drugged out.
Yeah, Harry's tripping balls again. Yeah,
Green Goblin impales himself, and they're making all these weird biblical references in the panels. It's like, what were you guys smoking? Were you on the same thing Harry was on? I feel like Papa was out of town, and the mice were definitely playing. I'm just saying. There's a lot going on in this issue.
Not even just these issues. I believe the whole Jerry Conway era was like fraught with controversy.
Well, yeah, but that had mainly to do with him wanting to differentiate himself, you know, from the whole Batman with the bow and arrow thing. So, looking at you, Arrow, still fighting that stereotype. Anyway, yeah, no, I enjoy this issue in retrospect. I actually have this one in print. It's so discolored though. I found it at a yard sale. It's so discolored. Like Spider-Man's pink and purple at this point. I did my best. I don't open it very often, but yeah. I scanned it in. I was just like, okay, I'm just gonna scan it and then we're gonna close this baby up. But yeah, the cover's really ridiculous. It's like, ain't none of these people dying. You're not getting rid of J. Jonah Jameson, you know. Or do you? No, stop.
I just wonder, I mean, it must have been shocking back when this was brand new. It's just like, they're not going to kill anybody.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, this was like the first time. It changed everything. And for a long time after this, actually, everybody was kind of going through that whole let's kill the female lead. This really sparked a trend for a while. So
yeah,
and everybody just wants to be shocking because, like we say now, even now to this day, death in comic books is meaningless for the most part.
Yeah, because I was going to say, they technically haven't, they never brought back that original Gwen. It's always been clones or Spider-Gwen or something.
Uncle Ben, land of forever dead. But mark my words, Uncle Ben has been alive this whole time, and he's secretly Mephisto.
I thought I read somewhere, I think it's true, that they were saying when they were, when they did the whole One More Day thing, and they were starting Brand New Day, that they were talking about bringing Gwen back with that, because, they brought Harry back.
Yeah. Oh shoot. It's some weird trivia about that. I forgot my notes. Hold on, let me see if it's on the Mac.
And they're like, okay, you could, and they're like, okay, we can split hairs on Harry, but you're not bringing Gwen back.
I thought it would have been interesting, but I'm glad that is like one of the things that has stayed. What is dead should stay dead kind of things.
Yeah, and it's like, what would they have done with her if they would have brought her back? Would we have gotten Spider-Gwen? Would they have,
yeah,
I don't know, she would have ended up like a goblin or something.
That, yeah, exactly.
Then
you don't have an amazing, but there are the,
and then
what if?
Yeah.
What if he had saved her or whatever? So it's just like, those are interesting. Like, they have a lot of interesting jumping off points, but I just keep it in the what ifs. I think. In the ultimate universes and stuff like that.
Then if you brought her back, would we have to dredge up that whole thing with her sleeping with Norman and
having that baby?
Too.
Yeah. Ooh, drama alert.
And of course the daughter looked exactly like her down to the headband.
Yeah. That is a creepy story that I do not like to discuss.
No.
That's right up there with how Jordan dating a 13-year-old. Like, let's just pretend like that didn't happen. True story, look it up.
Yes.
I thought that the pacing was great. I just, just like as an older person now looking back and like as a writer, it's just like, God, this is tropey as hell. Like, this is like the like origin of this trope.
Oh yeah.
But no, I think it was very well paced. I thought they were very respectful about the whole thing too, as much as they could be for the time, and it's a bunch of guys,
And we'll get to it in a couple episodes, but this was the end. This was technically the end of Norman. They didn't bring him back for like another 20 some years until the end of the Clone Saga. Spoiler alert.
Yeah, that was crazy. I was just like, yeah.
And they revealed he was the mastermind behind the whole thing. It's just like,
I know. It's just like, sure.
It was like, sure. I remember it. I was like, that original Green Goblin guy who died before I was born. What?
Yeah, that was. We'll get there, but yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like we almost should have threw in What If number 24, but that's actually kind of that's not one of the best what ifs, honestly.
Yeah, I'm trying. If we want to mention it real quick, I read it digitally like once, I think, because I don't have a paper copy, but yeah.
So, I guess as far as I remember, it's like he jumps in after her rather than catching her with the web, and basically how he actually does it in the movie.
Yeah.
And then he proposes to her, and he reveals his secret identity, and then they have that confrontation with the Goblin, and then yeah, it's just like they weren't destined to be together either way it goes. So
they don't end up together. Yeah,
exactly.
Okay.
Yeah, she like gets married to like Robbie Robertson or whatever.
What?
I think. Yeah, I think that's who she ends up with, if I remember right.
The old man?
No, Joe, Robbie. Yeah, no, he's not that old.
Oh, the son, his son.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah. Also, I think that the ultimate Gwen Stacy's death is pretty cool too, with the whole Carnage thing. Of course.
Yeah.
Carnage. William is awesome. I'm just gonna say, like, yeah, I love that costume.
Basically, her mind lives on in a symbiote or something.
As you do, clones, symbiotes, whatever.
Well, yeah, I was gonna say she's had a clone run around for how long?
Okay, no. My favorite Gwen Stacy kind of sort of death is the one from the animated series, where it's Mary Jane instead, and she falls through the portal, and Peter thinks she's dead. Oh my god, that is actually my favorite interpretation. I thought about it, and I was just like, wait a minute, is that what that was supposed to be?
I think they kind of did that in the comics. I think it was John Jameson, though. So, and he just
they mashed up the two stories, and I was just
so Jameson was really after Spider-Man. I was like, you killed my son!
Yeah. Like I said, this is like a really big thing, not only for Spider-Man, but for comic books. So if you haven't read it, and trust me, what is it? The Andrew Garfield one doesn't do it justice.
Yeah.
Yeah. So definitely read this issue if you can find it. I'm sure it's digital everywhere, almost everywhere.
Yeah, I was going to say, if you want to call yourself a Spider-Man fan, you should have read this at some point.
Yeah, not even read it, but you need to own it in some way, shape, or form.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so, and 122 is basically just the confrontation between him and the Green Goblin, and spoilers, Green Goblin gets himself impaled on his own glider. Like
the original Tobey Maguire Spider-Man movie, yeah.
Yes, I remember that happened. I was just like, so you're just gonna... Okay.
Between that and the end of Amazing Spider-Man 2 and Gwen Died, I could just imagine everyone in the theaters just like, and all of us who've read these stories, and we're like, yeah, I saw it coming.
Finally! I was so sick of her this whole movie. Sorry, Emma. This is not your role. If you want to see Emma in a good movie, definitely check out The Favorite. It also has Rachel Weisz in it from like The Mummy. The good Mummy movies with Brendan Fraser.
Oh.
Yes, the end of the year. I'm catching up on all the movies that I need to. Don't judge me. Anyway, yeah. But no, I don't know. 122 is just like, okay, I'm glad that he's dead. He deserves it. I'm glad that Pete didn't have to get his hands dirty.
Well, yeah. I think you kind of knew that had to happen because, one, not only did it, the Goblin was partially responsible for Gwen's death, but he knew Peter was Spider-Man too, so.
Exactly. It's just kind of like, remember last season when the Flash is in jail and everybody figures out he's the Flash and everybody's all sad that those people had to die. And I was like, well, they knew he was the Flash. I knew they weren't never coming back.
Yeah.
It's one of those things. It's like 6 people. It's like, and the criminals. Not gonna happen.
Because the Goblin had figured it out early on, and he kept getting amnesia, and it's just like, okay, how long are you gonna play this out?
We're sick of this amnesia. Yeah, exactly. It's like if all it takes is one traumatic stress trigger, yeah, he's gotta go.
So, but then of course you kill Norman. Then of course you get Harry go insane from time to time and trying to be the Goblin, and he even tried to be a hero for a while. And
sounds really familiar, like a movie I've seen 80 times. Because that's all we had next to those damn X-Men movies. That's all we had. And now we have 30 Marvel movies.
At least Franco didn't have the weird hair.
But it was Franco. He's weird in general. Fight me, nerds. I dare you. Anyway, yeah. I say that 121 is a classic. It's an A. Must read. 122, it's like a B+. Because it's all just falling action and tidying up.
I mean, it's basically one big A- story, so.
Yeah. Yeah. But no, and the artwork was great. I like the movement detail. They were doing, and the panel construction too was really good in this one.
Yeah.
Yeah. I definitely I think my favorite, just to be cliche, is the bridge fight.
Oh,
yeah. 121.
It's classic. I mean, they keep going back to that. But I love how Spider-Man has the excuse why he didn't say it. He's like, oh, I had the flu or something.
Can we just talk about how at the beginning of 121 he's coming back from Europe on that Hulk story? And then he goes and tells the guy, he's like, hey, yeah, so J. Jonah Jameson, he owes me about $200 for bonus for those pictures.
Yeah, oh, no. I believe it was Montreal.
Oh, yeah, Montreal, you're right.
Yeah.
Same difference.
No, I know. But yeah. He's like, oh, I'm exhausted from fighting the Hulk, and I got a flu.
little under the weather there. Okay. But yeah. Yeah, this is definitely I think this is a very excellent choice to start off the Spider-Man podcast.
Yeah, like I said, I wanted something big, and we wanted to do Green Goblin, so hey.
Yeah.
I kind of like the first 2 months are Green Goblin and Doc Ock, because those are probably like his biggest enemies.
You know, I've been on the forums, and lately, where there's a lot of people that are like they're basically like the Joker for Spider-Man. Like everybody's kind of tired of seeing them.
Yeah.
Which is why I'm glad they did actually end up using the Vulture
in Homecoming.
Tom Holland.
Yeah. And Mysterio's coming in Far From Home.
Yeah, people are actually really excited about that, and I'm just like, I feel like when they introduced him is when they jumped the shark a little bit.
I don't know. I mean, at least it's somebody they haven't used before, and like, I don't know, they can go crazy with like those special effects and stuff.
They could, but I don't think they should.
I don't know. Kind of. Like, I don't know. Kind of make him kind of.
As weird as it seems, I feel like Spider-Man's like next to like Hawkeye and like Black Widow are like the most grounded. Like he's like actually kind of grounded.
Well, yeah, but I'm just saying. Yeah, I mean, you can make him hallucinate, almost make him kind of sort of like Spider-Man's Scarecrow. You know.
No, fair enough. We only used him in the Nolan trilogy. It's fine.
Yeah. Well, I mean, comic book Scarecrow, you know.
I'm just teasing.
Get to some fear gas, some props.
But I mean, that's all, at the end of the day, really, like, I think this is why I'm so bitter about the MCU is because the MCU does these, like, really weird, arbitrary, like, changes to the characters. And so, like, when people are talking about the character, I'm like, well, that's not really the character in the comic book. It's kind of like a pastiche of their best qualities. It's just a weird thing that I'm just like, read a damn comic book! I don't care about the MCU! It's for mass entertainment. It's not like the subtle nuances and stuff. So it just drives me insane. It does.
I know.
But yeah. Whereas, like, DC, it makes everybody go back and read the comics because the movie was so terrible. So, you know.
I don't know. I'm kind of the opposite. Like, if it makes me want to read comics, it's usually a good movie.
No, it's like, this is not how Superman should be. And I'm just, like, kicked back reading, you know, burn.
Burn.
Yeah, so, you know, with MCU, I'm just like, oh my god, I'm just going to go read Ronin. I don't even care. Like, this Hawkeye is not it. Poor Jeremy Renner.
Even with Ronin coming.
Yeah, exactly. Supposedly.
Well, that's even that line from Deadpool 2 where he's like, without my superpowers, I'm basically just a big, what do you say, like a big bag of cancer, kind of like Hawkeye or something.
Yeah. Exactly. Y'all gonna leave Hawkeye alone. Anyway, yeah. Enough random nonsense. Let's get to some shameless plugs.
Yes, and but before
there's a lot.
Yeah, a lot. But I was going to say, if you want to hear our Spider-Verse, if you haven't heard our Into the Spider-Verse review, go check out Capes and Lunatics episode 83.
You should link it in the description box for people on YouTube and
yes,
the info box for people on iTunes and other podcatcher services.
That's a good idea, Love Hellfire. I think I will do that.
I try every now and then to contribute.
Oh, you know you contribute. But send us your thoughts. Like I said, we're going to be doing some more. We're going to be doing Green Goblin in January, Doc Ock in February. You know, it might help if I brought up the list, tell everybody what we're reading if they want to.
Oh, the next one is going to be Spectacular Spider-Man number 200.
Yes, so Harry is the Goblin. Yes, I got it. Spectacular Spider-Man 200, and then Peter Parker Spider-Man number 75, like we said, when Norman returns at the end of the Clone Saga. Poor Ben Reilly. Then Amazing Spider-Man 25 and Peter Parker Spider-Man 25, both Volume 2. And then, like we said, then after that we'll do are we going to do a review or a live commentary for the first Tobey Spider-Man?
I'll let you pick your poison on that one.
Okay. Well, remember, we're going to be doing
I love live commentary. You know I live for it.
I know. Well, I mean, we're going to be doing a movie a month, though, so I don't know if you want to just do it.
We can mix it up. We can go back and forth.
Okay.
And whatever gets the better response is what we'll end up doing. So if we get more views on the live commentary, then that's what we do.
Okay. I wonder how many guest appearances we could get in February, our Doc Ock month. From our Doc Ock expert.
Somebody get Charlie Esser a damn Doc Ock cosplay ASAP, please.
Get some goggles. Charlie, you got to do a bowl cut.
And pneumatic tubes, not mechanical.
Oh, yeah. Someone get Charlie Esser on the phone.
Oh, God. Did you tell them how they could leave their comments and whatnot?
No, I was about to. You could always send your emails to capesandlunatics@gmail.com. Go follow us on Facebook, Ultimate Spidercast. We're at ULT Spidercast on Twitter. CL Sidekicks on Instagram, and the voicemail 614-382-2737. That's 614-38-CAPES, because if you go right to the Facebook, there's one button you can.
And the Instagram too, right? Did you?
We gave you a speed dial. Oh yeah, I believe on Instagram too. Yeah, so just hit the speed dial and you can leave your comments right there. All right, Lilith Hellfire, where can people talk to you?
If you nerds want to fight me or agree with me on the internet, you can find me at Lilith Hellfire on Twitter, at Lilith Hellfire 86 on Instagram. I also kind of specialize in another red and blue hero, Superman, and Smallville. So if you want to find out about that stuff, at Saving Pod on Facebook, Twitter, Pinterest, and or Instagram.
Fight me, nerd.
And if anybody, any comic book creators or anybody involved in a Spider-Man movie, email me, nightwingpdp@gmail.com, and on Twitter, I'm at nightwingpdp. We'd love to talk to you. Right.
Do you have the cartoon on DVD? The original not the original Spider-Man, but you know, the good one, the 90s Spider-Man. Have that DVD?
I do not.
Because there are some, it's a bummer. I was going to say, there are some good Green Goblin episodes we could talk about.
Ooh.
From that series. And I think maybe, do you have Amazon Prime? I think it might be on Amazon Prime.
Yeah. Okay. Is it? I'll have to look.
I think so. I don't know. Like, the last time I looked, I was in Canada, so it was on the Canadian Prime, so.
Okay, I'll have to look.
Okay.
All right.
On that note,
remember, come back next time and send us your thoughts on Spectacular Spider-Man 200. These goblins can't seem to stay alive.
And dear friendly neighborhood Spidercast, if you're not using it, scrub it off the internet so we can use it.
Yeah, I know. I swear, it's like probably looked like it was like 4 years old or something. That's all right. It doesn't have to be a friendly neighborhood over here. We're ultimate. R.I.P. Gwen.